Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. Today is the 12th of January 2022 and it's around 12:30 p.m. So we have around 3.5 hours before the market will close. The VIXN is looking pretty good. Overall the market is pretty good. However, the same can't be said for the CRISPR shares. So as always, I would like to start off with a bit of industry news and then get into the technical analysis and individual shares. So the first item I have today is a very interesting news. This addresses the issue that we were talking about in terms of being able to deploy the CRISPR payload into the body properly. So delivery mechanism has been our major challenge, and this seems to be some kind of progress on the path to having an effective delivery mechanism. So in the last couple of years, though researchers from leading CRISPR labs have zeroed in on another approach, which is handling something they call virus-like particles or VLPs. They were also used originally as a vaccine platform. VLPs are particles that look like a virus and can, when engineered a certain way, enter a wide variety of cells as viruses do, but don't actually contain any genetic material to do any harm. Largely, though, the VLPs have been inefficient, editing only a small number of targeted cells. But on Tuesday, David Liu's lab at the Broad Institute showed that they have been able to engineer a VLP that can deliver base editors with significantly improved efficiency. So this is not the first time someone has done that, but I believe Verve Therapeutics has also done something similar before. So although the work remains quite early, they showed they could knock down a key gene in liver cells in mice at similar levels to what Verve Therapeutics showed with an experimental LNP-delivered heart disease treatment. Potentially more impactful, they were able to show editing in central nervous system and eye, neither of which can be treated with current generation of LNPs. So that is the special aspect of the mechanism that David Liu's lab has come up with. So I'm going to leave the link for this article in our description so that you can read it for yourself and have a look. Sicilian rouge tomato with blood pressure lowering GABA available in Japan. So this is now available for people to buy and consume in the open market. And this has been done by genome-edited food made with CRISPR-Cas9 technology. And GABA is a famous health-promoting compound in Japan. It's like vitamin C. More than 400 GABA-enriched food and beverage products such as chocolates are already on the Japanese market. So this is one interesting piece of information to have. And now let us proceed to look at our VIXN. As you can see, the VIXN is back. It's down. We are seeing a red doji candle, which means that bulls have been able to push everything down, but there is a bit of indecision out here. We are at 24.13 right now, and our resistance stands at 24.87. So we need to come further down for things to improve. Meanwhile, even with this drop, we have Nasdaq, which is up 0.20%. And as you can see, we are coming close to our resistance out here, which has happened to be at 15419.01. So once we cross this resistance, then we'll have to challenge this diagonal line, which is going upwards. That will be the next resistance because it has been the support for us for the longest time. As you can see here, I'm going back to more than 1 year. So if I zoom out, so we are looking at this support coming in all the way from 17th of March 2020. So that's where we are right now. And now let us look at our CRISPR shares. So we have Regeneron at the very top. Let me sort this once again. So the market is changing so fast that we are talking about a cent here or there. So if I sorted it again, maybe Regeneron will go down if it lost that 1 cent. So anyway, let's look at where Regeneron is. So we have this whole matrix of resistance and support. So we are above one of our supports. The resistance has been converted to support. It was at 624.20. So now I'm going to mark this as a support because we have crossed it and we are above it. And our next resistance is going to be here at 629.02. which is where we are located. And if you can see here, we just hit that resistance and came back. So we are testing that resistance, and if we look at the MACD, it's gone bearish, and the momentum is also dropping a bit. However, if these were to reverse, because we got a positive dark pool sentiment, then we have a good chance of again hitting the resistance and trying to penetrate that. So next, let us look at Pfizer, which is up around 4 cents. More or less, it is moving horizontal. As I mentioned before, I'm not too much worried about Pfizer and Novartis, because these are all revenue-producing companies with a heavy balance sheet. So let's look at Novartis. It's down 38 cents, but they still have Novartis still has a support at 89.29. So I'm going to mark this as a support, which was an earlier resistance. Then we look at Vertex. Vertex is down 39 cents. So the MACD is bearish, and the RSI momentum is slowing down. Dark pool sentiment is turning positive, but we have a heavy hammer on the top out here. So both these candles are kind of canceling each other out with a bias towards the bulls. So we have to now challenge a resistance of 226.21, and we have a support at 224.46 to fall back on. And with that, let us go and look at ARKG. Now, in case of ARKG, you will notice that we have been twining around this particular support line. Right now, we are slightly above it. Earlier, for the last 30 minutes or so, we have been just on top of the line. Each of these candles is 30 minutes. So you can see that this support is kind of struggling to hold. ARKG is down 2.75%. Today I decided to take a bite on ARKG. I bought some shares of ARKG, and I am thinking that the time has come for ARKG to start turning around. So I have put my money where my mouth is. Again, these are all my personal opinions. Please do not make any investment decisions based on this video or what I am saying. Do your own due diligence before you invest in shares. Now let's look at Blue. For Bluebird, I have extended this channel from here and pulled it forward, right from here all the way to here. And I am thinking that probably Blue is trying to move in this bearish channel downwards. So our support, which originally was out here, this green line at 9.40, will now have to become resistance. And so I'm going to change it into a resistance. And as far as the MACD is concerned, it is bearish, and momentum is very low. So things are not looking great for Bluebird. Subsequently, as we keep moving sideways, this green line, which is the resistance out there, is likely to push it down further, unless we have some kind of a catalyst or something that comes up. I don't see any earnings in the immediate vicinity, so probably that's not going to be a catalyst unless we have some kind of collaboration deal or something comes up. So next is CRISPR, which is down minus 3.20, CRISPR Therapeutics. MACD is bearish, and momentum has just steeply dropped suddenly, and it's kind of neutral right now, and dark pool sentiment has also turned negative. So I don't see any news articles as such since November 22 to precipitate this. So I don't know what's happening. Basically, I suppose it's just churning around. And if I zoom out to the long-term view, we can see that we were in an earlier bearish channel. We came out of it, and we seem to be kind of consolidating sideways. And I would consider it more of a consolidation if we went all the way up to this resistance. And we are very far away from that. So I really don't know what to make of this movement. We'll hold on to it until more data is available and we can perceive what is happening. Let's go to TDOC, and I would go into my 3-month view. And if we look at TDOC, it's still under a resistance of around 84.91, and it has got support at 78.36. Dark pool is negative in sentiment, and MACD is just about running parallel to the signal line and almost threatening to go below and turn bearish. Our momentum is neutral. There is not much to say about RSI as being either in support or against, but TDOC is not doing well at all at this point of time. and I can't see any further signs that it's going to go up. It's been moving sideways and then it came down. It seems to be some sort of consolidation, and I'm happy as long as we are above 78.36. And in terms of earnings, I do not see any earnings coming up very shortly, so that's not a catalyst either. Again, something new, some new alliance or opening up in some new country or something will probably be a catalyst until such time that we have some improvement in the overall markets. Editas is down minus 5.47. You had seen the delayed reaction to Editas yesterday, and now Editas has gone down 5.12, and it's kind of gone below two support levels. The first one was at 25.50, which we have gone below, so I'm going to mark it a resistance. And the second one that it is negotiating right now is 24.36, whereas it's at 24.45. So we have to hope that this will hold for the day. As far as MACD is concerned, it's bearish, and momentum is just about picking up after having dropped severely. So there is a good possibility that we'll swing back, bounce off this support, and swing back into the resistance, which we have at 25.50. After that, we are looking at Intellia, which is down 5.14%, and it's currently at 99.83, somewhat struggling around the support, which is at 99.77. And if we stay above that, I'll be happy. And we have a resistance at 102.48, which was an earlier support, and we have breached it, so I'm converting it into a resistance. And if we zoom out to our 3-month view, again, we can see that we are in a bearish channel which is going downwards, and we are midway in our channel downwards. So let us hope that this support holds for today, and then we have two resistance to break through. And the next stock I would like to talk about now is Beam. And when it comes to Beam, we are down 6.03%. And yesterday we had some good news, and things had picked up, and again today we are in the doldrums. So let me go back to a one-day view of Beam. So our earlier support, which was at 74.19, has been breached. So that is going to become a resistance. And we are now above a support level of 70.08. At 71.30, we are down $4.38. And the MACD is incoherent for me. I can't make out whether it is bullish or bearish. The RSI's momentum is picking up. So hopefully we are able to cut the losses and maybe shave off $1 from these losses out here before the end of the day. So that's all I have for CRISPR today. Unfortunately, I don't have much intelligent things to say about these movements because I really don't know what's happening with these shares. If I go back again to look at the broad indicators in order to get some sense of what is happening, I'm seeing that VIXN has dropped marginally. Like if we go to a long-term view, you can see that very clearly. So VIXN has dropped marginally. So we are right now at this place at 23.94. And Nasdaq has just put on a very brief percentage of positive gain. And if I look at other sectors, like if I was to go to crypto, and if I look at Bitcoin USD, Bitcoin USD has shown a very, very strong sentiment today, and it has gone above a couple of resistances, and it's now looking positively bullish. The MACD is also turning over. So I'm thinking that if I look at other circumstantial information, I have a feeling that probably CRISPR should turn around today. And let us go to the established stocks like Apple. Apple is doing well with a 0.69% gain. And if I look at Google, it's up 1.58%. If I look at Microsoft, it's up 1.51%. So unfortunately for us, the Nasdaq index is dominated by these players, and their movement kind of exaggerates the positiveness or negativeness of Nasdaq. So we'll have to wait a while to see how it's going to impact the CRISPR stocks. Right now, with the data available, I don't have the expertise to predict the direction, unfortunately. So I'm going to end the session with this. Thanks for all your support. Please like, share, and subscribe. Your likes does make the video come to the notice of other people. So please put a like in there, and we'll talk to you in the next session. Bye for now.